Okay, it's nice to be with you today, where we are going to be looking at calculations involving preparation of solutions. When we say a solution, what are we talking about? We are simply talking about a solute dissolved in a solvent. So if I have a solute dissolved in a particular solvent, what I get as a result is a solution. Common example of a solution is a mixture of sodium chloride in water, a mixture of alcohol in water, a mixture of acid in water, and a mixture of different metals in water are examples of a solution. When we have a solution whereby the solvent is commonly water or the solvent is water, such a solution is called an aqueous solution. We also have different types of solution. We have the saturated solution, we have the supersaturated solution. But we are not talking in details about solution for today, but we are simply looking at how we can prepare a solution. Now, what are the steps or what are the methods that can be used in preparing a solution? Now, we have defined a solution as a homogeneous mixture of a solute and a solvent. So when we say homogeneous, we are talking about a particular mixture whereby the concentration and the composition of the solution is uniform. So that is why we say homogeneous. Homogeneous has to do with something that is mixed and it commonly has a single phase or a single composition or a uniform composition. That is what we mean by homogeneous mixture. Now, let's look at different ways that we can prepare a solution in chemistry. Of course, we've talked about a solute being dissolved in a solvent as a solution. Also, as we have a situation whereby water is described as a universal solvent, we can use water in most chemical analysis to represent our solvent. When water is used as the solvent in chemistry, it is simply called an aqueous solution. So water is common solvent in chemistry that is commonly used in preparation of solutions. Now, we have different types of solutions as we have analyzed. We have the saturated solution, we have the supersaturated solution, and we have the unsaturated solution. So, but we are not going to be looking at types of solution in details today. We'll look into that when next we talk about water and solubility. Now, today we are going to concentrate how a concentration of a solution can be determined in preparation of a solution. Now, what then is concentration? Now, when we say concentration of a solution, we are simply talking about the amount of solute dissolved in a particular solvent. So, if I have a particular solute like sodium chloride, or let's say 4 grams of sodium chloride dissolved in 1 dm cube of water or solvent, that solution will give me a particular concentration. If I dissolve another solution like 2 grams of sodium chloride in 1 dm cube of water, that is 1000 cm cube of water, what I will get is a different concentration. So concentration has to do with the amount of solute or the total amount of solute being dissolved in a particular solvent. So that gives you the concentration of the solution. Let's take, for example, we can have 2 cubes of sugar dissolved in 10 liters of water. It will give us a particular concentration. Of course, concentration is simply talking about the sweetness or the taste of the sugar in the water. Now, if I also have the same volume of water and I dissolve 4 cubes of sugar in the same volume of water or in the same amount of water, what I will get as my concentration will not be the same as when I dissolve 2 cubes of sugar in the same volume of water. So you can notice that the concentration has to do with the amount of solute being dissolved in a particular solvent. So the higher the solute, the more the concentration, or the higher the concentration. While the lesser the solute, the lesser the concentration, or the lower the concentration. Also, if the liquid also or the solvent is higher in volume, the concentration also decreases. While if the liquid is lower in volume or lesser in volume, the concentration will be increased. So that is how we can compare the concentration of different solutions when a particular solute is dissolved in a solvent. Now, for chemical analysis, it is very important, for quantitative purposes, it is very important to know the amount of solute that is being dissolved in a particular solvent. Now, if a particular solute or amount of solute that is dissolved in a solvent is what we refer to as the concentration of the solution. Okay, now we have different types of concentration. We have the mass concentration and the molar concentration. We have the mass concentration and the molar concentration. Okay, now what is mass concentration? Mass concentration has to do with the amount of solute in grams that is dissolved in particular volume of liquid or water. Now, if I have, let's say, 10 grams of sugar dissolved in a particular volume of water, let's say 10 cm cube of water, that gives me the mass concentration of the solution. But if my solute is in moles and I dissolve it in a particular volume of water, that gives me what they call molar concentration. Now, another word for molar concentration is called molarity. Simple as that. So, molarity can be used to replace or can be used to describe the concentration of a solution in moles per dm cube. That is, concentration of a solution when it is dissolved in 1 dm cube or in dm cube of solution. So that is what we call molar concentration. Now, when a solution has a known concentration, when the concentration of a solution is known, that type of concentration is called, or that type of solution is simply called a standard solution. We can define a standard solution as a solution of known concentration. That is a solution that the concentration is known. What is an example of a standard solution? If I have 4 grams of sodium hydroxide dissolved in 1000 cm cube of water, that is a standard solution because the concentration is known. That is a particular amount of solute dissolved in a given volume of liquid or a given volume of solvent. So that is what we call a standard solution, a solution of known concentration. Of course, we have said when the concentration is in grams per dm cube, it is called mass concentration, while when it is in mole per dm cube, it is simply called molar concentration. Okay, so we can say a concentration or concentration of a solution is the total amount of solute in solvent expressed in grams per dm cube or in mole per dm cube. Now we can have, we say when the concentration of a solution is known, we can call the solution a standard solution. Now when the concentration is defined in terms of moles of solute, it is simply called molar concentration or molarity. Okay, now when we say molarity, we have 1 molar, that is 1 molar solution, 1 molar solution is equal to a solution of 1 mole per dm cube. Okay, so 1 molar solution is a solution of 1 mole per dm cube. That is what we call molar solution. Okay, so molarity here can simply be defined as 1 mole of solute divided by 1 dm cube of solution. 1 dm cube of solution. So that is what we call molarity of a solution. Okay, now having talked about this, we are going to stop here for today and we will be looking at examples or some calculations involving preparation of solution in our next class. So I urge you to avail yourself in the next class where we are going to look at some simple calculations in chemistry involving preparation of solutions. So hope to see you in our next class. Bye for now.